Well, to discuss the reaction to President Trump's move to recognise Jerusalem as Israel's capital and the rest of the week in US politics, we're joined by our regular American political commentator and former White House staffer, Professor Ed Blakely. Ed, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Another day in Trumpdom.
Well, of course,
yes.
As far as his decision on Jerusalem is concerned, he did make this promise during the election campaign, so he's followed through, so we shouldn't be surprised.
No, we shouldn't be surprised. What about the timing? The timing is awful. It couldn't be worse, where the tensions in that region are really very bad. Netanyahu's in very bad shape himself, and the Palestinians feel really pressed upon and put upon by all the things that are going on around them. This was not the time to do it, if he did it at any time at all.
So why did he do it now?
He did it now because things are deteriorating for him at home rapidly. We could look at it so many fronts, and I'm sure we will today, but look, this Alabama business, it's not good. Mueller is now right at his front door, and the Congress barely passed the tax reform, so he is in a corner.
So, coming back then to what's now unfolding in the Middle East, we're also hearing now that upcoming summits involving Arab nations are refusing to,
They're refusing to go,
yeah.
And they're refusing to have the United States there. And the United States will not have Tillerson. This is a huge difference. The United States is not only backing away, it's being ugly in places where it needs to be strong. So we have a situation where this man is stoking new fires. Just yesterday, UN soldiers were killed. People feel they have a field day to kill Americans, UN officials, and so forth, because the President of the United States is not there to support the right moves.
Yeah, you've mentioned Rex Tillerson, the Secretary of State, who has been absent in this decision. Apparently, this was the initiative of Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law, his special advisor. So further evidence in your book then that Rex Tillerson has been sidelined. But you said quite some time ago you don't expect him to last much longer. So is this yet more evidence of that?
Well, yes, and the rumors are becoming very firm that he'll be gone after the first of the year. I thought it would be around Thanksgiving. It's been pushed off a couple of months because they need to find a replacement. But he is gone in the decision-making on foreign policy, and this is further evidence of that. The question is, what's going to happen to Jared Kushner?
As far as the Mueller's investigation is concerned?
Yes. Jared Kushner, from the Flynn investigation, is the next person in line to have given the orders to talk to the Russians. So it's getting closer and closer to home, and the more diversions they can make, the more difficult it will be for the Congress and others to take action.
well, in terms of the probe that Robert Mueller is leading, it's now looking into financial dealings around Trump, namely his relationship with Deutsche Bank. Is that meaning that he's moving away from those concerns around Russian collusion?
Well, no. Why do you think Trump has been saying he didn't have anything to do with the Russians? He had another door through Germany. And Flynn was tied in with that door, and so were a lot of other people, including Jared Kushner. So the Russian relationship came through Germany in that case, and that's why he's tracking that finance. When you finance somebody, you have leverage over them. And the suspicion is that leverage was deployed. And this is why Mumford, who seemed not to have anything to do with any of this, all of a sudden was put in a position of responsibility because he was a go-between.
Ed, I know you've been critical, clearly, that you're saying that Donald Trump to this point hasn't had any progress legislatively as far as getting legislation through. He has had a couple of wins, though, as far as his tax bill is concerned, and also the Supreme Court upholding the travel ban.
Yes, the travel ban has been changed, as you know. He made it so there were some non-Muslims in there. And also, all the people in this new travel ban are places where there's strife going on in their territory. And the rationale there was Obama did the same thing. Where there's strife going on, you had a deep, not a ban, but a very careful scrutiny of people to come in. And under the Obama bans, it was very much the same. You had to have an invitation. an official invitation. Now, Iran was not part of that, but now a person coming from Iran or Iraq, a number of these countries, has to have an official government invitation. That means your relatives can't come to visit you. So this is great for the Democrats. They can bring out all those people who feel their relatives are being penalized because of this. It has nothing to do with foreign policy, everything to do with politics.
And the tax bill that is passed. Now, you look at it domestically in the United States, the economy is doing well. It's on the same trajectory that it was when he took office. Certainly no complaints there as far as the economy is concerned. And I guess this goes to Americans' hip pocket, how they'll be feeling, whether they're feeling better perhaps than during the time of President Obama. So how's the passing of this tax bill going to play out, do you think?
Well, there are two things. One of them, the corporate tax rate is deemed to go down so the U.S. can bring money, repatriate money that's sitting overseas. People find a business headquarters overseas to park their money. So if the tax rate is down low enough, they can park it in the United States. Parking your money doesn't mean you're going to build anything new, but at least creates that competitive disadvantages disappeared. And who can be against that? But when you bring down the taxes on the wealthiest individuals, in order to do that, you have to take benefits from the lowest income people. That's where the rub comes. And that's what we're into now. So you didn't hear the Democrats screaming about this too much because we preserved pieces of Obamacare and other things that are dear to them. But as soon as people get their next tax bills, the Democrats are going to be all over it because people won't get that relief they got from their homes. They won't get the relief they got from other things in the way of deductions. Their taxes are going to go up if they're in the middle class. And young people seeking homes, this is a disaster. So for the Democrats, this is a good thing. But let's face it, tax bills never get rolled back. There'll be some changes, but it won't be rolled back. The corporate tax bill, I think, probably makes sense given the fact you have Ireland and other places with those same tax rates. And we have to do the same things here in Australia.
Now, you mentioned earlier as well, Professor Blakely, the name of Roy Moore, the Republican senator candidate running for Alabama, and of course he's had endorsement from President Donald Trump. Highly controversial given allegations of sexual misconduct, and we've also seen it's a problem that's been affecting all sides of politics with Al Franken as well, yes, resigning from the Democrat side.
Yes, this is a macro diversion here. It's unfortunate, but I think that the timing and everything that's happened makes a new day, that women are really stepping forward and saying we're fed up with this and we've crossed a line here. This does not help the Democrats or the Republicans, but it helps America and it helps women around the world. I think from this, though, you will find several things. One of them, the Republicans, if you'll note, have almost no women in public office. They're going to have to change that very quickly. The other thing that's going to happen from this is that the people in Congress are going to have to come together on both sides of the aisle to clean up Washington, D.C. So good will come from this. When it comes to Moore, this is a lose-lose. If he wins and goes in, he brings this issue back in mega scale. So the Republicans have to say, we're not going to seat him, or we're going to have some long investigation. It will look like a Republican investigation. It can't look like anything else. If he loses, people can celebrate the fact that he lost for that reason. So the sex scandal has some good aspects, but on the whole, it makes the Congress look weak, the United States look weak, and the fight should not be over that.
Professor Ed Blakely, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.